Welcome to another edition of Park Talk Podcast, the official podcast of the Naperville Park District, where you can engage your senses. I'm back in the studio with two special guests who are here to discuss the Naperville Parks Foundation. I have Foundation Board President Troy Cooper and Foundation member and Naperville Park Board Commissioner Jim Ensign. Welcome, gentlemen. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So there probably are people in the community who are unaware that the Naperville Parks Foundation exists. Can you explain the history and the evolution of the organization?
So the Naperville Parks Foundation is a 501c3, and we are 100% volunteer. And we are an entity that our history really brings us back directly tied to the Naperville Park District. Mm-hmm. There in the past, the Park District was starting to have a lot of success with the scholarship program, and there was different community leaders that recognized there would be a possible need to have a foundation that could raise money to support those programs. And while we're not directly tied or official part of the Park District, we do have a partnership and a very strong relationship and act as their foundation to donate funds and raise awareness. And anything else you want to?
Yeah, and it was started about 2011, so really not that long ago.
Okay, great. And Troy, you mentioned the scholarship program, which I just want to have a quick note out there. The scholarship program is a Park District program where we provide funds for people who are in need, low-income people who would like to take advantage of recreation programs. So it's a great opportunity that we offer at the Park District. I'm going to ask, what the Parks Foundation, what's the main mission and goal of the organization?
Well, our main mission is to support outdoor recreation, parks and open space, for physical, mental, social benefits that it provides. We work with organizations like the Park District, but we're also kind of expanding our mission, looking to work more with private groups and possible, the concept of partnerships within the community between different individuals, different companies, and different organizations.
And not being, really part of the government, being kind of a separate group, we can really kind of pick and choose, but we can really look for needs and try to fulfill those needs and make sure that those opportunities are accessible to people in maybe special ways.
Okay. And that obviously takes funding. So how does the Parks Foundation generate funds?
Well, one of our oldest fundraisers has been one of the partnerships we have with the Park District, and that's that we are kind of the facilitator, main host of the Winter Ale Fest. Mm-hmm. So we work with the Lou Dog events, which hosts a great event every year. Really fantastic event. Last year was the first time I had a chance to go, and it was pretty blown away by the size of it and the response and just how many people were there and vendors and everyone having a really good time. And so that's been going on for how many years, Jim?
About 5 years, I think.
5 years.
I think that sounds about right. Yeah.
So it's really great partnership. We're able to raise a fair amount of money that we bring in, and we cover some of the legal aspects of it, the liquor license and different components that are would be difficult for the Park District to do.
Sure. And
in turn, then we do donate a bulk percentage of that money back to the Park District so they can use it to aid in their scholarship program, provide things for families that can't afford.
Right, and there's a couple other things we do with the Park District, and that is people can opt in, check a box when they register to donate some money to help support people in need that maybe can't afford the registration, even though the Park District fees are very reasonable. Still, I think these kinds of things are really important for more people to have access to.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the registration process is a good way to do that. That's a really turnkey way for people to be involved and help the foundation and help scholarships specifically. What are some of the other current projects that you guys are working on? Because I know you've got some irons in the fire and doing some different things.
Well, we got a big one that we're really excited about, the Hops and Oak project. We've been working on for coming up on a year and a half. Mm-hmm. We kind of got wind that the Hops and Oak tree was going to be taken down. It was on a piece of land, Hobson Road and Green Road, unincorporated DuPage County between Naperville and Woodridge. And
right by the DuPage River.
Yes, right. Just by the east branch of the DuPage River. And Jim Healy, our former president, is on the county board, and was able to work an arrangement with the county to allow us to come up with some ways to honor the legacy of the tree and the history that's meant so much to different community members. And we kind of came up with a bunch of different ideas, and in the end, we were able to work with John Green Realtor, and Naperville donated $10,000 so we could have the tree taken down and milled and dried, with the intent to pass that wood out to local artisans, and also work with different businesses locally that want to commission a piece that would then give it back to us so we could donate it. And our plan, since we haven't been doing auctions in the past, our plan is to work with other local non-for-profits that already have auctions and donate our pieces to their auctions, and then share in some of the revenue that's in the money that's raised. And it's really just been a fantastic project. And then in addition to the wood pieces, we have saplings that are being raised at the Morton Arboretum, and I think there's about 300 or so that we'll have next fall.
Very
and we'll
cool.
be working with different ways to get those to individuals and auction some, sell some, and we're talking now about possibly creating some sort of park memorial for our former founder, Frank Slocum, who recently passed away.
Yeah, I think one of the neat things about this project is that we didn't really, well, I think Mary Lou did, but the rest of us really had no idea how much significance there was in this tree and people in the community. The tree is probably about 250 years old, so it goes back to the founding of our country. And a lot of things happened on the tree. People got married, families remember this tree. It's quite a landmark when you drove down Hobson Road, you saw this just incredible tree. And a lot of people have come out of the woodwork, literally, wanting to become part of this project. And, last week I had a friend write and say, hey, what do you know about this Hobson oak tree? How can I make something out of it? And the artists that have come out already, and there's an opportunity coming up, I think, on February 17th here, for more people to get some of the wood to be turned into projects that then will be donated back to different charities and as fundraisers. So it's a really neat project and a really honorable way to commemorate a tree that unfortunately is no longer part of our community in a living way, but maybe could be part of the community in a permanent way.
What a great way for the Naperville Parks Foundation to be involved too. It's so creative. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it's been a fun project. We have I think 6 electric guitars being made.
Oh, wow.
We've got Bruce Camp was one of our first artists to get his hands on wood because he was able. He's a bowl turner, and the wood doesn't have to be dried to do that. And I think he's up to over 30 pieces that he's made, and they're just magnificent, beautiful pieces. And we have a partnership or collaboration we're working on with possibly having a beer coming out soon that'll have been Hobson oak brought into it, the flavor profile of it, and we hope to have that out possibly in the next 6 weeks or so, which will have it'll be a 4-pack of cans, and be about $20 for a 4-pack, and $10 will be going back to the Parks Foundation for every 4-pack that sells. So
very cool.
Kind of fun, creative way to create awareness and raise some funds.
Definitely. Now, Troy, I'm curious, why did you get involved with the Parks Foundation? What was the impetus for you doing that?
Well, Mary Lou Worley invited me on, and she and I met probably about 3 years prior. My wife and I own Naperville Kayak in Naperville, and it's a small, newer company that we started kind of as a side project into my other career, and it's slowly built over time. But with Naperville Kayak, we needed access to a lot of different waterways, and through trying to get permits and meeting the different powers that be to get permission to operate our business, learned quite a few things about how the Park District operates and how the different Forest Preserve operates. And, this past year we have a total of 7 different permits with 6 different groups. And, at certain times things were moving slowly. And I think I had talked to Mary Lou about, hey, I'm kind of frustrated. These are our public lands and we want to do cool stuff that the community wants. And I'm getting all this kickback and, why is it so hard? And she said, hey, I think you should come join our foundation. So,
and the rest is history,
yeah.
right?
So it's really been great. We're having a lot of fun and trying to make some waves.
Sounds good.
I can say I was on the commission or the Parks Foundation board before Troy, and the energy that Troy brought in has just really vitalized the foundation. And he busts down doors and he gets things done, and doesn't even know he's going where nobody has boldly gone before. So it's been really refreshing to have Troy as our leader.
That's great. It's great to hear that the foundation is doing great things and being visible in the community. So how do other people in the community get involved in the foundation if this is something that sounds of interest to them?
Well, I think, for now, take a look at our website, thehobsonoak.com. That we're just rolling that out. So it's probably 95% done, but, become familiar with that project and what we're working on.
Okay.
As we're hoping we're planning to have auctions as soon as maybe August of 2018. So we have some time yet. We still have artists working on a lot of pieces before we get there, but stay informed. We have a Facebook page, and as things progress, we'll be keeping everyone informed what's going on. We also have our new website, the Parks Foundation website, which you can go to and you can donate directly to the foundation, or you could go there donate directly to the Park District and the scholarships programs. And we're excited about that. These are all brand new things.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you have different interests in the community, things that you'd like to see happen in your community, different, outdoor activities that you don't currently see that you'd like to see more of, it, we'd like to know that. We're trying to make introductions. We're trying to bring groups and businesses together, raise funds, and to move that forward. I think historically, the Park District's been top notch throughout the country. We're very lucky to have that. I grew up in Naperville, and it's just amazing, all the programs and things. But there's a lot of cool things you can do in the outdoors that are not organized. So,
right.
Organized sports. And we're really looking to kind of tap into those less organized sports, and also to, the other opportunities with private investment and partnerships. We think there's a lot of opportunity for growth there. And then obviously working with the Park District, they have a pretty huge budget to work with every year. There's a tremendous amount of land they have to work with, and they're a great resource and a phenomenal partner for us. So,
yeah, another simple way for people to reach out to us is we do have an email address. It's something like info@napervilleparks.
It's all on the website.
.com or .org.
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 Right.
So that's a simple way. And there's with the Hobson Oak project. Well, first off, probably a fun way. If people like beer, they could just come out to the Naperville Winter Ale Fest, and that would be a great way for them to support us. But if you have at all any interest in the Hobson Oak project, there are a lot of different ways. You don't have to be an artist. You could, if you have a company in town, or you could, we could help you find an artist, and you could sponsor a piece. Again, all that would be all your efforts would be multiplied by the artist and by the auctions of those pieces. So it's there's some real fun ways for people to be involved, and then of course the direct ways, donating either through registration or through our website.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Now you've each mentioned the Winter Ale Fest a couple of times. So what are the details on that? Because I'm sure there's people that are interested in finding out how they get tickets or when and where it is, and all that good stuff.
If you Google it, Winter Ale Fest, this is not a thing that we directly host. It's done by Blue Dog Events,
right?
And they have all the information on there, where to buy tickets and dates. And I don't know if they have rain dates or anything like that, but
or snow dates.
Snow dates.
We do it snow or shine.
Right. There you go. There you go. Well, it sounds like a great event. And
yeah, it's on a Saturday near the end of February. And since we had to turn off our cell phones for this podcast, I can't just pull it up right here. But whatever that Saturday is, they're on the 24th or 25th. And it's in the afternoon. And you definitely want to get there early to avoid the lines getting in. And it's just a really fun afternoon of beer sampling.
Yeah, I was blown away. I think there was 5 or 6 like huge wedding tents and just lines of vendors and any local beers, regional beers, beers from surrounding states, and a lot of the people that actually brew and make the beers are there. That you get to have the beer and sit there and chat and talk to them. And there was 25 or 30 food trucks, outdoor fires, just a really cool event.
And you'll run into a lot of your friends there if you're from town, because everybody is there. It's crazy.
So if you're into beer, sounds like a good time. All right. I'd like to thank you, Troy and Jim, for your time today and helping to promote the fantastic work of the Naperville Parks Foundation.
Great. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to submit your comments, suggestions, and questions for our mailbag segment through our website at napervilleparks.org/podcasts. Additional information on Naperville Park District programs and services can be found at napervilleparks.org. The Naperville Park District's mission is to provide recreation and park experiences that promote healthy lives, healthy minds, and a healthy community. Park Talk Podcast is a production of the Naperville Park District.